Hello, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Lessons in Film. I'm Nicky P. I know it's new and novel that I'm doing something other than the Iron Age Marketing Podcast, but sometimes you just need to teach. Today's episode is actually a response to one of the largest complaints I hear from indie creators in today's Iron Age media. Every day, someone posts yet another complaint about how creators like Gary Beakler at Neurotic, Ryan Kinel with Geeks and Gamers, or The Critical Drinker don't do enough to uplift creators or just showcase good content. If they just stopped watching bad shows, the studios would stop making them. Now, this ignores the reality that pension funds and 401ks, IRAs, etc. through companies like BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard will continue to prop up ideologically based content until the whole thing collapses if need be. But it also ignores the marketing reality that we all face. Today's world of advertising inherently means disrupting content people are already watching with your advertisement. The hack, if you will, is tricking them by doing something referred to as entering the conversation they're already having in their heads. If the creators I mentioned before suddenly decided to stop talking about bad pop culture and focus on promoting indies, their channels would be as popular as your Twitter feed. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't actively promote content and actually monetize if they wanted, but the truth is the demand is so silly, it'd be hard not to play favorites and would ultimately probably wreck their credibility. The hard truth is these programs work because the conversation the average viewer was having at the time is, I can't believe how awful this franchise I love has become. Am I crazy, or have others noticed it too? These shows provide the viewer with something called social proof. As an example, for me, I asked the exact question when I watched the first episode of Doctor Who featuring the 13th Doctor. Gary from Neurotic was there to enter the conversation I was already having in my head with his review of The Woman Who Fell to Earth. He actually finished the episode. I couldn't. In this example, Gary was my social proof that I'm not alone in my feelings. He proved I'm right, socially. Now, the show is called Marketing Lessons in Film for a reason, and I couldn't think of a better teacher for today's lesson than my good friend, Freddy Krueger. Freddy built quite a franchise entering people's internal conversations and killing them. In the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Freddy doesn't just randomly appear in people's dreams. He enters as part of the dreams or nightmares his victims are already having. He taps into their existing fears, desires, and subconscious thoughts. As marketers, we need to do the same thing, minus the whole murder in their sleep part, of course. Let's dive into some specific examples illustrated by the films. Conversation number 1. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Freddy enters the dreams of puppetry enthusiast Philip. When Freddy first insinuates himself into the dream, it is as one of the marionettes Philip has crafted. Krueger then goes on to slice at Philip reminiscent of the suicide attempts that landed him in the hospital in the first place. Finally, Freddy literally turns Philip into a marionette and sleepwalks him to his death. This kill doesn't happen without being able to speak in a language Philip understands. Puppets. A dream about wizards battling would have likely felt foreign and been ineffective. In addition, Freddy gets bonus points here for using Philip's own fears about suicide as part of the dream. Up until this moment, it's probably felt like a normal bad dream to young Philip. After? Well, then it's just too late. In A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, fitness junkie and tough girl Debbie finds herself needing to blow off some steam and is lifting weights when her spotter turns up as none other than Freddy. While straining, Freddy pushes down and causes her arms to snap. The next few minutes are a wild fever dream as Debbie is turned into a cockroach, who Freddy crushes insignificantly in a roach motel. The genius here is that Freddy preys on the fears of the victim. The tough kid is transformed into the lowest and most insignificant of things, a bug. She is stripped of all her strengths, her beauty, and her power. This allows Freddy to sneak in and begin controlling the conversation. Conversation 3. In the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy makes sure to appear in familiar settings, like Tina's bedroom or Nancy's bathtub. He doesn't try to lure them to unfamiliar territory. In these settings, it's much easier for each of the victims to let their guard down. There's a recurring theme throughout the franchise, in fact, where Freddy literally shows up to destroy the victim's happy place. You're not trying to destroy the happy place, but being able to find yourself there with your prospect, metaphorically, will make the sale easier for sure. Conversation number 4. In Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, Greta is a young woman with a controlling mother. Every element of her life, down to what she can eat and where she can go, is at the whims of her mother. racing. We see once again how people's fears create a ripe entry point for Freddy. In her final nightmare, Freddy force feeds Greta like a baby at a dinner party where her mother is thrown to parade her daughter around in front of her friends. The death is both incredibly public and incredibly devoid of any agency. Once again, the thing she fears and is thinking about is the way in. Unlike Freddy, our goal isn't to scare people, but to wake them up to the solutions we offer by tying into what's already on their minds. Remember, effective marketing isn't about forcing your way into someone's consciousness. It's about seamlessly entering the conversation they're already having with themselves. Their hopes and fears are already going on in their heads. You need to feel like a friend and trusted solution. You know them well and just want to help. If you're one of my clients, I'm sure you truly do want to help. So the next time you're crafting a campaign, channel your inner Freddy. Enter the audience's dreams, understand their nightmares, and offer them a way to wake up to a better reality with your creation. Remember, just as Freddy adapted his tactics for each victim, you need to tailor your marketing for each segment of your audience. Enter their world, understand their nightmares, offer them a way to sweet dreams, metaphorically speaking, of course. If this video helps you sell a few extra comics, novels, or games, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Sweet dreams, happy marketing.